Good morning, students. Since we have studied about dimensions and dimensional formula of various physical quantities, so now this is one more we can say that application by which we can use the dimensional formulas or dimensional relationships. Okay. So next application is about deducing the relation among the physical quantities. What is this concept is all about? This concept says कि suppose you have been given any two or any three physical quantities. Suppose I will give you force, mass, velocity. Suppose, okay, if I will give you three physical quantities, force, mass and velocity, and I will tell you find out the relation between force, mass and velocity using the dimensional formulas. Okay. So this application based on the works upon on which factors any physical quantity depends and their dimensional formulas. Means to derive the relationship among physical quantities, we have to know the various factors on which they depends and their dimensional formulas. So let us see how this application works. Suppose I have taken one example. Derive an expression for the centripetal force acting on a particle of mass m moving with velocity in a circle of radius r. Means this question says you have to derive an expression for centripetal force. Means what? We have been allotted one physical quantity here. The physical quantity is centripetal force, and which is acting on a particle of mass m. Means one of the more physical quantity which centripetal force depends is mass. Another physical quantity on which the force depends is velocity, and the third physical quantity on which the force depends is r. Means we have to derive a relation between centripetal force, mass, velocity and radius. So first of all, for this concept, what I told you, we have to know the two main things. Number one, on various factors on which the physical quantity depends, and secondly the dimensional formulas. So one we got that on these three factors the centripetal force depends, and the another thing which we need to know is dimensional formulas. So here we are writing there are four physical quantities which have been given in the question, and these are the dimensional formulas for those physical quantities. Centripetal force is a type of force only, so in place of force we can write the dimensional formula ml t minus 2. Mass I can write m1 l0 t0, velocity m0 l1 t minus 1 and radius m0 l1 t0. Okay. So next step is, let us assume we have not allotted any expression for it, or we have not allotted any relation, means it is directly proportional, inversely proportional or square of it or cube of it, we have not been given in this question. So let us assume for our convenience that all the physical quantities are directly proportional. Okay. So f is, we can write down f is directly proportional to m, where m denotes the mass, v where v denotes the velocity, and radius r where r denotes the radius. Okay. Let us assume these all physical quantities are having certain dimensions or certain powers. So let us assume that mass is having the power a, velocity is having power b, and radius is having power c. This is all our assumption. Okay. It is nothing related with the question. We have assumed for our convenience. Okay. Secondly, since there is a proportionality sign, if I want to change the proportionality sign into equal to, I have to multiply the equation with one dimensionless constant or proportionality constant. So here the k plays the role of proportionality constant. I can write f is equal to k multiplied with the all three physical quantities with their powers. Okay, where k is, what is this k? K is the proportionality constant, and as well as it is written in the bracket, it is dimensionless. So I need not to worry about ki ma'am why you have added k or why you have multiplied the k with the whole equation. This is just a proportionality constant, a number it is. It is just a number which is multiplied because we have to change the proportionality sign into equal to. Okay. Now what is the next step? Writing dimensions of various physical quantities in equation number 1. Suppose I have given this equation as equation number 1. So what I have done now, I have replaced the physical quantities with their dimension formulas. In place of force, I will write the dimensional formula of force. In place of mass, I will write the dimensional formula of mass. In place of velocity, I will write the dimensional formula of velocity. In place of radius, I will write the dimensional formula of radius, and the powers as it is written. Okay. Then next step is to simplify the equation. How to simplify the equation? Just have a glance on it. We can see here on the right hand side I am talking about. Don't disturb the left hand side. Okay, I am just talking about the right hand side. Here we can see that there are 3m 3L and 3T. Okay, and all these physical quantities are in multiplication with some powers A, B, C. So what can we do now? Let us merge all the M together, all the L together and all the T together. How to do this? Since we know that if we will multiply any three functions, their powers add up. In the maths we have studied, if suppose we have been given x ki power A, x ki power B and x ki power C, and all these x's are in multiplication. Okay, so what you will do, if you will write, so we can write x is if in equal to, if it is asked, we can write x is equals to A power plus B plus C. Can you, have you studied about this? Ki suppose if I will, let me take the pencil and then you will understand better. Now let us see what I was telling you. You have studied in mathematics that if suppose any three functions have been given where x is equals to x ki power A multiplied by x ki power B multiplied by x ki power C. Okay, if you want to simplify this thing, what you will do? You will write x and the whole power A, B and C will add up. So it will become A power plus B plus C. So in this way you can write. Same we are doing here also. We are taking M, M and M as function. So if we are multiplying three functions or three physical quantities, their powers will get add up. Okay. So here finally what I can write? I can write M the whole power A, because if you will multiply A with 1 you will get A, but if you will multiply B with 0 and C with 0 you will get 0 in the last. So directly I am writing A here. Okay. In the same way if I will count for L, so A is multiplied with 0, so we will get 0 power. B is multiplied with 1, so we will get B, and C is again multiplied with 1, so we will get C. So at last what I am getting? 0 plus B plus C. And in the same way for T, here A multiplied with 0, 0, B multiplied with minus 1, minus B, and C multiplied with 0, 0. So at the last what I will get? 0 minus B plus 0. Okay. I have simplified the previous equation. Now if you can see, both the sides M, both the sides L and both the sides T, but they are having different dimensions. Here the dimension of M is 1, but here the dimension of M is A. Here the dimension of L is 1, but here the dimension of L is B plus C. Here the dimension of T is minus 2, but here is the dimension of T as minus B. You can see here. One thing which I forgot to tell you, why I have written 1 in place of K, because you have seen here K is just a proportionality constant, not a physical quantity. Okay, and as well as that K is dimensionless. So if anything, any number or any dimensionless quantity can be written as 1, because it is just a number, it is not a physical quantity, or it is not having any dimension. So I can replace it with 1. Okay, so here you can write ML T minus 2 is equals to M ki power A, L power B plus C and T power minus B. So comparing the dimensions of similar quantities on both the sides, we got here you can say, if you will keep, if you will just compare the dimensions of the physical quantities, both the sides mass. So I have to compare dimension of mass with the dimension of mass only. Okay, so A is equals to 1, and in the same way B plus C is equals to 1, and minus 2 is equals to minus B. So from here we got what is the value of A? A is equals to 1 we got. Directly I am writing A is equals to 1. Secondly, minus 2 is equals to minus B, or we can write down B is equals to 2. Putting the value of B here, so I will get C is equals to minus 1. So what are the dimensions I got? A is equals to 1, B is equals to 2 and C is equals to minus 1. Okay. If you will see here, by putting the values of dimensions in equation 1, we got F is equals to K M power 1, V power 2 and R power minus 1. Why I have written M power 1, V power 2 and R power minus 1? Because in the previous we have written this equation as equation number 1. We got ABC value. We are just putting the ABC value in this equation. So we will get F is equals to K M1 V ki power 2 R ki power minus 1. So we can write down K as it is. Since M power is 1, so we are writing M. Since V power is square, so I am writing V square. Since R is having the power minus 1, so R will go in denominator. So this is the required expression for the centripetal force. So this is the way of deducing the relationship between the different physical quantities using the dimensional analysis. Okay. Let us see the second example. You will get more clearance about. and we are slowly we are heading towards the simple to complex questions. Okay, so take care. If you are not getting anything, you can write down in the comment box. I will help you out in the next video. Okay, since now next question is, a planet moves around the sun in a nearly circular orbit. Okay, a planet is moving around the sun in a nearly circular orbit. Its period of revolution, period means what? Time period. Its time period of revolution T depends on, means simply directly they are saying ki we in LHS side, here in LHS side what we have taken? Centripetal force. So in this question in the LHS side what we have to take? Time period, and this time period depends on, directly they are saying this time period depends on radius r of the orbit, mass m of the sun, and the gravitational constant g. Taking the value of proportionality constant as 2 pi, here they are writing that taking the value of proportionality constant as 2 pi, means in this question the value of k was not given, but in this question the value of k they are giving as 2 pi. Derive the formula for t. So similar way we have to solve. Let us assume similar way for our convenience. Again we will assume that all the physical quantities are directly proportional, and let us give them a power a, b and c. R denotes radius, M denotes mass, and G denotes gravitational constant. So in place of proportionality sign I have to write equal to, and for that I have to multiply with a dimensionless quantity or a proportionality constant k. R power a, M power b and G power c as it is. Okay, let us name this equation as equation number 1. The next step is to write down the dimensions of various quantities that are used in the above equation. Okay, let us see the time period T. What is the dimensional formula of T? T we can write, it can also be written as M0, L0, T1, but as you all know now what the dimensional formula and all, so I am directly writing T. Okay, in place of radius I can directly write L, in place of mass I can directly write M. Now comes at gravitational constant capital G. If you have not done the previous homework, then you must be not aware about the dimensional formula. So for you I have solved here, but beta you have to solve the previous portions which I have given in the previous videos for your convenience only, so that in the next or on the above if further I will upload the videos, then you will not have any problem regarding this. But if you will not solve, so you will supposedly you will get the problem in the previous next questions. Okay, so don't skip the hard work, you have to solve. So come back to the question. G is equals to Fr square upon m1 m2. We all know that what is the formula of gravitational force, and from there I have derived the gravitational constant formula. In place of F I can write ml t minus 2, in place of r square I can write L square, in place of m1 m2 I can write m square. Okay, while solving, after solving all this I got G is equals to m minus 1 L3 t minus 2. So substituting these values in equation 1. What is the equation 1? This is the equation 1. I have to substitute in place of physical quantities, I have to substitute their dimensional formulas. So while by substituting I got T is equals to K R A M B G power C. So in place of T I am writing this, in place of R, M and G I am writing the dimensional formulas with power A, B, C. Now the next step is what? I have to write the full-fledged equation for your convenience. So I have simplified the equation in writing only L, instead of writing only L I have written M0, L1, T0. Okay, for your convenience only, so that during the multiplication you will not feel any problem. Okay. Now what is the next step after this equation? I have to merge all the M together, all the L together and all the T together. Okay, for merging M, multiply the powers with bring the powers inside the bracket. Okay, B is multiplied with 1, A is multiplied with 0 and C is multiplied with minus 1. So lastly I got B minus C. In the same way I got for the L, A plus 0 plus 3C, and for the T 0 plus 0 minus 2C. So here what is the next step? Comparing the dimension of similar physical quantity. It means I have to compare the dimension of M with M only, L with L only and T with T only. By this we got the equations as, first equation B minus C is equals to 0. So this is our first equation. Second is A plus 3C is equals to 0. So this is our second equation. And minus 2C is equals to 1. This is our third equation. From here I can solve C is equals to, by bringing the 2 in the denominator, I can say C is equals to minus 1 by 2. Putting the value of C in the first equation, I got B is equals to minus 1 by 2. and after solving this, in place of C I can write minus 1 by 2. So here I am getting the value of A is equals to 3 by 2. I got all the 3 dimensions, 3 by 2, minus 1 by 2 and minus 1 by 2 for A, B and C. So putting the values of dimensions in equation number 1, we got T is equals to K R power 3 by 2, M power minus 1 by 2 and G power minus 1 by 2. For your convenience, suppose the students are not getting ki ma'am now how to write this formula, we are a bit confused, minus 3 by 2, minus 1 by 2 or somewhere we are confused. So don't worry, squaring on both the sides, let us square on both the sides. So T will become T square, K will become K square, R 3 by 2 ka whole square if you will do, if suppose you will do R power, let me solve for you, if suppose you are doing R power 3 by 2 whole square. So here but 2 से 2 cancel, so we will get R3. In the same way, suppose M minus 1 by 2 you are doing and you are squaring this thing. So 2 cancel, so what you will get? M minus 1. Same way G minus 1 ka half power and square, then we will get G power minus 1. So directly can I write T square is equals to K square R cube M minus 1 and G minus 1. Okay. So here I can write T square is equal to K square R cube, M I will bring in the denominator because it is having minus 1 power and G I will bring in the denominator because it is having minus 1 power. So this is my formula. I can write in this way also, or if you want to more simplify, we know that since it was given in the question, the proportionality constant has the value of 2 pi. So in place of 2 pi, in place of K I am writing 2 pi. So this will become T square is equals to 2 pi whole square R cube M upon M G. So if I want to remove the square, okay, so I have to remove the square, then T, it will become T is equals to, since 2 pi was whole square, so 2 pi can come outside of the under root and the all the 3 quantities will come under root R cube upon mg. So this is the required formula for the period of revolution of the planet. So these are the assignment which I am giving you. I have given these question in the form of PDF also. You can see or you can note down the question from there and you have to solve and you have to tell me the answer of this thing. Okay. The question is slightly bit of different. Okay, in some question you have to find out and in some question you have to prove. Okay, so do accordingly what have been told in the question. The first question is, the wavelength lambda associated with moving electron depends on its mass m, velocity v and Planck's constant h. Okay, so you have to prove that lambda is equals to h upon me. Means what? You have to derive the relationship of wavelength with respect to mass, velocity and Planck's constant h, and if you are getting this formula, then your deduction of the formula or the deduction of the expression is correct. Okay. Second question, consider a simple pendulum. The period of oscillation of the simple pendulum depends on its length, acceleration due to gravity. Derive the expression for its period of oscillation. Means again you have to derive the expression for period of oscillation t with respect to two physical quantities, length and acceleration due to gravity. This is bit easy question, only two physical quantities have been given, so it is not a lengthy type of questions. Now third is, using the method of dimensions, derive an expression for the energy of the body executing SHM or simple harmonic motion, you can say. Assuming this energy depends on its mass m, frequency nu and amplitude of vibration. Okay, you can take the amplitude of vibration or anything, you can take any symbol, you can take A also, you can take H also, no problem with the symbol. Okay, means what? You have to derive an expression for the relationship between the energy with respect to mass, frequency and amplitude. Okay. Last more question is, the frequency of vibration, the frequency symbol is nu, of vibration of a stretch string depends on, means we have in the LHS side, what is the physical quantity which will remain? Nu, and it depends on length, number one. Second, mass per unit length. Okay, just take care for this word. Okay, this time it is not just a mass, it is mass per unit length. So if you are writing the dimensional formula of mass per unit length as m, so it will be wrong because it is not just a mass, it is mass per unit length. So what will be your dimensional formula? Your dimensional formula will be mass upon length. So dimensional formula will become ml minus 1. Okay, so just take care while you are solving the question. And the tension T in the string. If you don't know the meaning of tension, let me tell you that when the chapter will come, I will explain in more depth way that what is tension and how to solve for the tension. But for now, you have to just take care. The dimensional formula of tension is similar to force. Okay, so dimensional formula of force and the tension are same. So don't worry for the word. This word is new for you. Okay, and obtain the expression for frequency nu. Okay, means frequency depends on these three factors: length, mass per unit length, and tension. So this is our next topic, which is related to the theoretical part of the physics, that is system of units. What do you mean by system of units? What happens? The international system of unit, what it says actually, in earlier time the scientists of different countries were using different system of units for measurement. These there were three such systems which are known internationally, that is CGS, FPS. FPS system were used by British one, and MKS. Okay, MKS was broadly using actually they were broadly using MKS system, but in some of the countries they were using CGS system. What these systems are actually all about? Many countries, suppose if I will talk about in Asian countries or European countries, suppose if I just a random example I am taking, suppose we belong to Asian countries. Okay, we were using MKS system. MKS system means what? We have been given three fundamental quantities or three fundamental units: length, mass, and time. Okay, so we were taking, because we were following MKS system. So in MKS system, this MKS system, this M stands for the length meter, means to measure anything, Indians were using the unit known as meter, and for using the mass of any quantity, the Indians were using kilogram, and for measuring the time, the Indians were using second. But the other country, suppose we have taken in the consideration Europe, they were following the CGS system. Means what? If India is measuring any length in meter, the European countries were measuring the same length in centimeter. When India was using the when Asians, or we can Indian, or we can say Asians, when the Asians were using the kilogram for measuring any mass, the European countries were using gram to measure anything. Okay, and when the Indians were using the second, so they were also using the second, so no problem with the time issue, but the problem was with respect to length and mass. Okay, so in the same way, the Britishers were using foot, pound, and second system. Means for measuring any sort of length, they were using the term foot. Okay, so their dimension, their length, their reference is different. And for measuring the mass, they were using pound, that is totally different from gram and kilogram. We can compare gram and kilogram in some way or some sense, but the pound is totally a different unit system. Okay, but for the time they were also using the second. So there were many problems which are occurring due to the different countries were using the different fundamental base units for the length, mass, and time. So these systems became main popular. Then all the scientists or internationally they came together and they decided to have a internationally one base system, so that in the national level or international level, whenever we are using or we are mentioning any physical quantities, so their dimension or the units must be same. So then the system came that is known as Standard International, the system of unit which is at present internationally accepted for measurement of anything, that is Standard International. Okay, then we then we decided, or we can say then whole country or the whole world has decided to follow this system as Standard International. So now we are not using the different length, mass, time system. So we are using the SI system, which is followed in the whole over world now. But previously they were using CGS, some of the countries were using CGS system, some of the countries were using FPS, some of the countries were using MKS. Okay, now the whole world is using the SI, that is Standard International. Now this is the last application for the dimensional analysis. We have studied two applications till now. One application is the homogeneity or check the correction of any equation by dimensional analysis, or checking the homogeneity of any equation. Second application we have studied is deducing the expression of any whatever the physical quantities have been given to you, and then we were finding the expression, or then we were finding the relation among them. This is the third and the last application which is included in your syllabus regarding the dimensional analysis, which is actually conversion of one system of units to another. Just now we have studied the system of units. We were following three system of units before: CGS, MKS and FPS. Okay, now the whole country is using the SI, or the whole international level, the whole world is using the SI. But suppose if you have been given any physical quantity in the one we can say measurement system or system of units, and then you have been told to find out the value of the same physical quantity in the another system, then how to find out? Okay, suppose I will tell you ki 5 Newton force is in SI unit, but if I will ask you same again ki convert 5 Newton force in CGS system, then how will you convert? Okay, so this is the formula which has been given to you. First of all, to convert a physical quantity from one system to another, we have to keep the fact in our mind that the magnitude of a physical quantity remains the same whatever may be the system of units. Means what? We suppose we have been given one formula, n1 u1 is equals to n2 u2. Okay, where the n1 is the number system magnitude of any physical quantity u1, and n2 is the magnitude of another same physical quantity but in another system. Suppose the two systems have been given, so this must be equal to this. This is the concept of conversion of one system to another system. If suppose u1 is equals to any physical quantity where m1, l1, t1 with dimension a, b, c have been given, and u2 is another physical quantity m2, l2, t2 where a, b, c are the another dimensions, then what the dimensional formula says, n1 u1 is equals to n2 u2. So in place of u1 and u2 I am writing the dimensional formulas of these. So if you want to find out the value of n1 or n2, then you have to transfer the dimensional formula according to that. If you are not understanding with the theoretical way, then let us solve in the numerical. So might be possible you will clear, I will be able to clear your doubts. Suppose one example here is given. Let us convert 1 joule into Erg. So before that you have to keep this thing in your mind, what is the joule denotes. Okay, joule is the SI unit of work done as well, and joule is the SI unit of energy as well. Okay, so here we are taking the energy consumed. Okay, so we have to convert 1 joule into Erg. Erg is the CGS unit of energy, where joule is the SI unit of energy. Okay, joule is the SI unit of energy and Erg is the CGS unit of energy. Both are energy only, but having the different units because of the different system of base units. Okay, and the dimensional formula of energy is ml2t minus 2. So this is the dimensional formula of energy, where A is equals to 1, B is equals to 2 and C is equals to minus 2. So next step what we need to do, we have to write according to this. Means first of all we have to write which system have been given to us. In this question which system is given, that is SI is given, because what is the question, let us convert 1 joule, means joule is SI. So which system is given, SI system is given, into Erg means need to convert, in which system we need to convert, CGS. So first of all we will write what is given and in which system we need to convert. Second thing, according to this formula which we have studied, n1 ml m1 l1 t1 n2 m2 l2 t2 means these 4 quantities we need to know. Okay, n1 means what is the magnitude which has been given to you. Since in the question what is the magnitude have been given to us, 1. So in place of 1 we will write 1 joule. m1 denotes 1 kg. Always remember, whenever the system SI is given, the mass is always taken as 1 kg. The length is always taken as 1 meter and the time is always taken as 1 second, because this is standard value. In CGS, since we don't know how much Erg is there, so we don't know value of n2, so this we have to find out, because they were not writing how many Ergs are there. So means n2 we have to find out. What is the value of m2? Always remember CGS. C stands for centimeter, means how many centimeter, 1 centimeter. G stands for gram, means how many gram, 1 gram. S stands for time, so how many time, 1 second. In the same way SI, mass stands for 1 kg. But whenever you are using this formula, the dimension of both the sides should be equal, the unit of both the sides should be equal. That is why I have converted kg into gram, because both the sides the unit need to be same. means if right hand side gram is there, then the left hand side gram should be there. If right hand side centimeter is there, then the left hand side centimeter should be there. If right hand side second is there, then the left hand side second should be there. Okay, so always remember this will be this will remain constant, mLt and m2 L2 T2. Okay, this will never change if system is given to you. In SI you will always take mass as 1 kg, length as 1 meter and time as 1 second, and in CGS you will always take mass as 1 gram, length as 1 centimeter and time as 1 second. Now we know that N1, this is the formula which have been given to you. We have to find out the value of N2, so then I will bring this dimension or this unit in this side. Since they are in multiplication, so when they will come here, so they will become in division. So N1 m1 upon m2 whole power a, L1 upon L2 whole power b, and T1 upon T2 whole power c is equals to N2. And because N2 we have to find out, that is why I have kept N2 at one side and all the things in left hand side. Okay, now it is the time to put the values. Since we know that we have to convert 1 joule, so means N1 value is already given 1, A value is 1, B value is 2 and C value is minus 2. Why? Because energy dimensional formula is mL2 T minus 2. So whole power m will be 1, whole power L will be 2 and whole power T will be minus 2. Okay, so I am just putting the values which have been given. So 1000 upon 1 ka whole power 1, 100 upon 1 whole power 2 and 1 upon 1 whole power minus 2. Since this is all 1 only, so I am just ignoring it. Let us focus here. 10 to the power 3, since the power is 1, so I can directly write 10 to the power 3. 100 power 2 means in place of 100 I can write 10 to the power 2, and 2 into 2 plus 2 is equals to 4 and multiply by 1. So N2 is equals to 10 to the power 7, means what? 1 joule in SI is equals to 10 to the power 7 erg. Okay, this is the way to convert one system into another system. Let us see the next question. You will this will more clear your queries. Suppose the question has been given, the density of mercury is 13.6 gram per centimeter cube in CGS system. Find its value in SI. Means what? Which system? Now it has been given CGS. In which system we have to find out the value in SI, and what is the number which has been provided to us is 13.6. First of all we have to find out the dimensional formula of density. So density is equals to mass upon volume. We all know, in place of mass I am writing L, volume is L cube, so it will become m1 L minus 3 T ki power 0. Here A is equals to 1, B is equals to minus 3 and C is equals to 0. Okay. Now what is the next step? Next step is, first of all we have to write what is given and what is need to convert. Means which system has been given? CGS. In which system we need to convert? SI. Okay. First 4 quantities we require: N1, M1, L1, T1, N2, M2, L2, T2. As we know that CGS has been given, what is the number magnitude which has been given to us? The magnitude of the density is 13.6. So in place of N1 I can write directly 13.6. Since I know that this system is CGS, तो mass कितना होगा? 1 gram. L कितना होगा? 1 centimeter. And time कितना होगा? 1 second. It is fixed. Now we need to convert in SI. So N2 हमें निकालना है. N2 we need to find out. So N2 पे question mark. M2 is equals to, since it is SI, so it is fixed, mass is 1 kg, length is 1 meter, time is 1 second. So in place of 1 kg I can write gram, in place of meter I can write centimeter, in place of second I can write second only, no need to convert the time. Okay, this you understood. If you understood, let us move to the next part, that according to the formula, we know that formula is N1. Same way I have written the same formula. Now because I need to find out N2, so I will bring this here. Since this is in multiplication, now here when it will come, it will become in division. So N1, this thing I have written as we have done in the previous question also, in the same way I am writing here. In place of N1 I am writing 13.6. M1 upon N2, because why I have written division? Because M1 was CGS. So in CGS mass is always 1 gram. But the M2 value is from SI. So SI 10 to the power 3 whole power 1. Upon 1 upon 10 to the power 2 multiply divide whole power minus 3 and 1 upon 1 whole power 0 is equals to N2. When we will solve this part, so we will get these value, and finally which what I will got, I will get 13.6 into 10 raised to power 3 is equals to N2. Means what? Hence the density of mercury in SI is 13.6 into 10 raised to power 3 kg per meter cube. Why kg per meter cube? Because in the question which SI unit have been given? CGS. So in place of G, SI will be kg. In place of centimeter, SI will be meter. So here I am writing kg per meter cube. The next question, I am solving the one more question for you. Okay. Now after this I will give assignment for you to solve. Okay. This is the last question which I am practicing for you. An electric bulb has a power of 500 watt. Express it in CGS unit. As we all know that if we are using watt, means in which system it has been given? SI. In which system we need to convert? CGS. Okay. First of all, we should know what is the dimensional formula of power. Power is equals to work done upon time. So it is equals to energy consumed upon time. So what is the dimensional formula of energy? ml2 t minus 2, and what is time? T. So after solving, what I am getting? ml2 t minus 3, where A is equals to 1, B is equals to 2, and C is equals to minus 3. Next part is we have to write according to this which system is given and which system we need to convert. System which is given is SI, and the system in which we need to convert is CGS. Since the value of N1 is given, how much power is given? 500 watt. So means N1 value will be 500. M1, L1, T1, because it is SI, so it is fixed. Mass हमेशा क्या रहेगा? 1 kg. Length 1 meter and time 1 second. So directly I am writing here, no need to discuss more. This is the formula N1, M1, L1, T1. Again I have to find the value of N2, so I will bring the dimensional formulas here. So now what to write? N1 is equals to, in this way I will write. So directly I am putting the values. Okay, 500 into 10,000 upon 1000 ki power 1 multiply by 100 into power 2 and 1 power minus 3. Okay, in this way I am getting the value of N2 as 5 into 10 raised to power 9. So hence the electric bulb which has a power of 5 in CGS as 5 into 10 raised to power 9 urge per second. Why I have written urge per second? Because joule is equals to, if energy is joule in SI, then the energy will be urge in CGS. Always remember. Okay. If in time in SI is second, then the time in CGS will be second. So we know that power is equals to work done upon time, means joule upon second. So in the same way I can write urge upon second. That is why I have written here 5 into 10 raised to power 9 urge per second. So 4 questions I have again prepared for you in this video regarding this topic. The value of G in CGS system is this, dyne centimeter square per gram square. Calculate the value in SI units, means you have to find out the G value which is given in the CGS, but you have to find out the value in SI. Convert 1 dyne into Newton. You must be aware Newton is the SI unit of force, means here you have to use which dimensional formula? Force. Dyne is the CGS unit of force and Newton is the SI unit of force, means which system is given to you? CGS. In which system you have to convert? SI. If the value of atmospheric pressure is 10 to the power 6 dyne per centimeter square, find its value in SI. Simple question. These are the questions which have been given to you. This is somewhat average question I have given, but I would like you to solve this question first, and then if you are not getting this question, then I will solve this question for you in the next video. Okay. So take care and do the hard work. Okay. If you have chosen science, means you have to do the hard work. Okay. Don't sit lazy in your home and stay safe. Thank you.